Hey guys, here to do like the first episode of like a video episode of Casket Conversations. And we're here with Steven once again.
Woo!
And Stephanie.
It's
First timer.
Hello.
It's so weird. I'm actually here.
Yes, we're in person for the first time. And I know I'm covered up on my laptop, but that's okay. You guys have all seen me plenty of times.
It's a good thing.
That's right, I'm hiding. I'm doing the work, the important, yes. So today we're going to kind of be casual and we're going to talk about movies, our favorite movies, what got us into watching film, you know, things like that, kind of getting to know everyone on a film basis, and then we'll be talking about a project that's coming up, hopefully, too. So to start us off, the newbie, we got Steph. So, whatever you want to start out with, you know, if you want to introduce yourself, say a little bit, or just go into what you like and what got you into film or whatever. But
Okay, well, hi, I'm Stephanie. I've been watching movies since I was little, so I like to go to the movies. I like watching movies. The
Yeah.
basic stuff like that. I'm actually more of an artist and a writer than a movie buff, but I'm slowly venturing more into that genre thanks to this guy over here. He takes full pride in that.
I do.
But no, my all-time favorite movie is Howl's Moving Castle
great movie.
because it's just
Right.
so beautiful. Did you know it's based off a book?
No, I didn't.
It is based off a book from the 80s. I have the book. And they are two completely different things. But you can see some of the similarities he
Yeah.
uses that he pulled from it. But it's just visually beautiful. It just engages you when you're watching it because you want to know how, you know, it's going to go. It's a good way, I think, to put it.
Yeah,
Yeah.
definitely.
I
Yeah,
don't know. Also,
that's
it's
cool.
Studio Ghibli, and
They
if
do
you-
amazing.
if you don't like Studio Ghibli, you should go stand in the corner.
I could agree with that. So, yeah, and Steven, what about...
I've always loved movies. I've been going to the cinema since I could go. And then, as I've told our viewers, well, listeners, now they're first-time viewers. Before, I started doing films back in 2011 was my directorial debut. I started acting in film in 2009 or so, and I've been stuck in it and I can't get out, and I don't want to. So, favorite movie depends on the week. Usually, I jump between The Hunt for Red October with Sean Connery and Alec Baldwin when he was good, and Psycho, the original one, the real one. We don't count that remake.
Yeah. That didn't happen.
We don't talk about that. Those two films are probably my favorites out of all of them. Just very good use of pacing and suspense, visual designing. The acting's pretty on par overall. Not just the lead characters, but you have good supporting characters. If you don't have good supporting characters, your main cast is going to carry the movie, and that's not always good.
It's true. It's definitely true. Yeah, for me, what got me into movies was I grew up on Edward Scissorhands, so that was the movie that really got me into like behind the scenes and all that kind of stuff. You know, I remember when the first Pirates movie came out, or was coming out. I saw the trailer for it before Holes, and you know, after the movie, we were walking out, me and my friends and my dad. We actually went and saw the movie on my birthday that year. And, you know, he's like, you know, the guy that's playing that one pirate in it is the same guy that plays Edward Scissorhands. And that just, for some reason, just completely blew my mind. And so I instantly I got into, like, finding more about Johnny Depp. And after that, you know, I got into What's Eating Gilbert Grape is another favorite of mine, you know. Leonardo DiCaprio has never been in a better role than that one. But I'd probably say my favorite movie, though, is Inception. It's either I go back and forth between that and Empire Strikes Back, just
Oh.
because of the Star Wars geek that I am. But yeah, my favorite actor is definitely Johnny Depp, and I think my favorite movie that he's been in is probably Edward Scissorhands. It's probably my favorite.
Benny and June is another good one.
Oh, it's so great. And so many people haven't seen that
I
movie,
know.
which just floors me because he has such a great role in it. Everybody in that movie does such a great job.
Well, I only just saw it a couple years ago,
Yeah.
the first time. But of course, I'm slowly watching movies
Right.
that people have seen years and years ago. So I'm a little slow.
It's true.
It's okay.
It's alright.
We're working on it.
It's okay, because I can quote tons of movies even though I've never seen them.
Well, that's sort of easy to do today because movies these days like to quote other movies
That's true.
and pop culture the way it is.
That's true. Or
Um,
if you work with a boss who is constantly quoting The Godfather, it's like you've already seen The Godfather. You
You
don't
don't
have to
need-
actually
yeah.
watch it.
Yeah, that's one I haven't seen.
You know,
Who is an actor that you sort of follow or like? Is there anyone that you really like or
All the British ones.
British? Yeah, all the British
You know,
ones.
Tom Hiddleston,
Yeah.
and, Benedict Cumberbatch. Stop shaking your head.
Who doesn't love Benedict?
I know.
that's true.
Like,
That's a good
he's,
point.
He's fabulous. He's just so good. at
He is.
Everything he does.
He is. Even as Khan.
He was
We're
a
not going
good-
to talk about that.
He was as good as Khan. Of course, I'm not a huge Star Trekker, so Trekkie. No, they're called.
They go, there are
Alright,
two different
I-
sects. I could go into a whole
Okay,
thing about
okay.
that, but I'm not going to right now.
Yes.
We'll do that when we turn the camera on.
Yes. Yes, I'm sure we will.
Okay, I'll just subtitle Star Trek because I'll just get it wrong.
Yeah.
It's okay, dear.
Yeah.
I'm working on it.
Is there a particular Cumberbatch movie you like?
That's good. You're putting me on the spot now. I gotta think of all the movies I've watched. We talk about Sherlock.
That's great. Sherlock is amazing.
Sherlock.
Not
These are all
technically a
pretty
movie, but we can.
I'll
Talk
put that
about
in
Doctor
movies.
Strange and
Doctor
how
Strange is great.
when he does an American accent, it makes him feel like a completely different person.
Yeah, it's true. I
It's-
mean, it's crazy.
Yeah.
Did you get to see The Imitation Game? Is that
Not
one?
yet. It's on my list of movies to watch, but
It's
I heard that's
super good.
excellent.
Have tissues ready.
Oh dear.
But what about you? Who's an actor that you really like to follow or what?
I don't know. I have a lot of actors I really like. I don't follow one specifically and watch every single movie that they're in.
Right.
The closest probably is Gary Sinise. You all know him better as Lieutenant Dan from
You
Forrest
got
Gump.
your legs back.
He actually was nominated for an Oscar for that role. He lost to Tommy Lee Jones that year, unfortunately.
It's crazy.
But that's okay.
That's an honorable loss.
Oh, and both movies were actually really good. It was to Tommy Lee Jones for The Fugitive, and
wow.
they're both fantastic films. He's won a bunch of awards though. He's won a couple of, I think a couple of Emmys for portraying like George Wallace.
That's interesting.
I finally got to sit down and watch when he played Harry Truman in Truman, and that was really neat. That was
Yeah.
a good piece. Apollo 13, just one of the best ensemble casts
Yeah.
of all time.
Super well directed. I mean, the whole movie, the cast, everything about
Well,
it.
it's Ron Howard. Opie needs to know what he's doing.
It's true. It's true.
But yeah, Gary Sinise, Jim Caviezel, or Jesus, as some of us know him as from Passion of the Christ.
Yes.
And he's getting in the sequel.
Yay! Jesus, part ducks.
Oh my gosh! But so I enjoy his work too. I haven't seen everything he's been in, but quite a bit.
Yeah. Yeah, I think Johnny Depp is the one that I pay attention to definitely the most. You know, I mean, I'm sort of scattered, you know, like, I think he's the only one that I have really followed every work. I mean, everybody else is pretty much, I've seen this, I've seen that. You know, there's sort of mixes in there. I mean, there's even some Depp movies that I haven't seen. Like, I haven't seen The Libertine, and I haven't seen, there's another one. It's the one he directed, the Arizona one, where he's the
Where's the
Indian.
lizard?
Well,
No.
no, it's the one where he's the Ringo.
Yeah, that's
Ringo.
right.
Ringo is amazing. I love Ringo.
I just saw that and I thought the Geico lizard. I was like, is he gonna go save me 50% or more on my car insurance?
Not this one. You might want to. You might not want to trust this gecko.
No dying on set.
I'm trying not to.
Um,
I might have to bring you back to life.
yeah, no, and it's funny because I usually try to keep, like a top 5 actors and actresses that I like to follow, but, it's like it changed so much, especially with actors dying and stuff, because it's like, obviously if they're dead, they can't keep making movies, so it's like, it doesn't take away from how much I enjoy them, but you can't really follow them,
Yeah.
That's true.
you
I'm still sorry.
Okay. I don't know.
You wanted to relax. This is what you get.
Yes.
I need a script.
Don't we all? Don't we all?
We all do.
But no, Hugh Jackman is another one that's up there for me. I mean, not just because of Wolverine and stuff, but seeing him in other movies he's done, like The Prestige and Real Steel and different things like that. He's really good at bringing heart and depth to whatever, character he does.
Jean Valjean.
Yes. I actually really like the Les Mis
I like
remake.
it too.
A lot of people didn't like it, but
Everyone's a
Other
critic.
people's, the general public is not the brightest,
No.
usually, because they're just like, well, I didn't like that. Okay, sit down.
Make it better.
He's like, sit down and
Get
shut
over
up. I don't care.
Get over it.
Write it yourself.
Yeah.
It's
Do
weird.
you have any guilty pleasures? Any movies that?
I don't think about that. I feel like everything
I
I
know-
watch is a guilty pleasure.
I know mine. My guilty pleasure is Rocky Horror Picture Show. I absolutely love
That's
that
actually
movie.
a good one.
Oh, dear.
I love
I'm
that
sorry,
movie.
let's do
Do
the
the
time
time
warp
warp
again.
Yes. I mean, I used to know every single word to Sweet Transvestite. I love it. Sweet Yes. I mean, I've got it on Blu-ray. Okay, that shows you how much I love this movie. Okay, I actually went out and spent $25 so I could have this movie on Blu-ray. It's so good. It's really not, but it is.
That's why it's a cult classic.
It's true. But yeah, that's definitely probably that. And then I'm sure this guy probably thinks of another one as a should-be guilty pleasure.
No. Oh, yeah. That movie.
Yeah.
That thing.
The thing.
No, we're not going to talk about that.
Yeah.
What is my guilty? I'm trying to think of a guilty pleasure. I have a couple. You can. You already told yours.
Yeah.
Yours. I really like the first Basic Instinct. That it's graphic and brutal in certain scenes, but it's kind of a cool little murder mystery. I mean, you know who the killer is at the beginning of the movie, but the whole discovery and the way it's ended is perfect. But of course it's Verhoeven, who's
Yeah.
an eccentric fellow,
It's true.
to be perfectly honest. And it's gotten him in trouble a lot, but he's a very good director. That's the problem.
Yes. Well, I mean, hey, some people would say Face Off would be a guilty pleasure.
I don't know why. It's a marvelous film.
Okay. Broken Arrow.
Well, yeah. That was not one of Christian Slater's better movies.
No. I think Travolta was the only thing keeping that movie afloat at all.
Well, it's John Woo. He's trouble. But he's again, another very good director. He just sometimes goes a little too much on certain aspects.
No idea for a guilty
I'm
pleasure.
trying thinking except
Well, if you-
Disney movies.
Yeah.
The classic original hand-drawn Disney
Yes.
movies.
all
Oh,
of
yeah.
those movies.
Oh,
that
those
I
are
can
a
sing
little.
all the words to.
Yeah. Do you have a actress that you like a lot? Unless we've talked about guys. It's,
Oh my God,
Sure.
I'll talk about the girls now.
yeah.
You should have told me these questions beforehand.
Should have.
Well, these are
We
questions
this is
I
completely.
never think of it because
Yeah.
when I talk about movies, I just talk about movies in general, I never
Right.
get the chance to get into this
The
actress and that.
intricacies and all that
Yeah.
kind of stuff. Yeah.
So it's hard to think about. So.
Yeah. I know for me, mine is Meryl Streep. I could just watch everything that she does. She is the queen.
Yeah,
And a very close second would be Kate Blanchett.
I was gonna say Julie Andrews.
Yes. Julie Andrews is
Julie
good.
Andrews.
She is amazing. Sound of Music, Mary Poppins, classic. I mean, that was. Plus, there was one other movie that I saw her in that I really liked, but I can't remember the name of it. But yeah, she's a good one. And she also.
Oh, sorry. I
What
thought
was
of
that?
one. Anne Hathaway.
That's great.
That's
I love
that.
her.
She's great.
Oh, Anne Hathaway.
What about you? Do you got a actress that you?
I really like Anne Hathaway. I know the actress's name. It's right on top of my tongue. Amy Adams.
Yes.
Mhm.
She's
Um,
incredible.
Both of them are really, really good at what they do.
And she's really had a great couple of years with movies too, with Arrival and Nocturnal Animals, and
Of course, she's in the DC
yeah,
universe.
Finally got her in there.
Yeah, and she's a good Lois Lane. You know,
I was a little iffy about her at first, but the second half of Man of Steel and the way they wrote her cataloging her search for the mysterious Clark Kent
yeah,
was brilliantly done.
for sure.
Well, it's because Snyder actually knows what he's doing, and that's something that ticks me off. Is a lot of people don't give him credit. But no, she's an excellent Lois Lane. She's not my favorite, but we won't talk about my absolute favorite.
It's true. It's true.
He knows who my favorite is.
Yep.
What does it start with?
It's Terry Hatcher from the
Oh.
Lois and Clark
Oh, the
Superman
original
series,
series. Oh
from
my
the
God.
Superman series in the 90s.
Back in the day.
I love Terry Hatcher.
Dean Cain.
It was a good show. A lot of people give it crap. I'm like, why? It's
I
really
enjoyed
good.
it. It had its campy moments. but
Oh
I
well,
enjoyed
it's
it.
it's Superman.
Well, it's a Superman. And it was the 90s or the 2000s.
It was the 90s.
Yeah.
It was the mid to late 90s.
That's right. Yeah.
And it only lasted like 4 or 5 years. And that didn't last
So
a huge. And it was ABC. You know, ABC.
Even
It
worse.
wasn't good for content in the 90s. It's got.
Well,
hasn't gotten.
They're still pretty questionable now.
Oh,
yeah,
like
some
that.
people.
I can
Oh,
agree with
they're
that.
terror.
I mean, I love Once Upon a Time, but I can tell you that show has moments where it's.
Well, it's on its way out, isn't
I've-
it?
I think it's like on its last season or something.
Yeah,
like that. It just
so-
finished.
I've
most of the
only
good shows are
watched, like,
gone.
2 episodes, and I couldn't get into it.
I've watched all except for the last 2 seasons. It's really
My
good.
friend says, and you just gotta get past the first episode, and it gets a little better. And
It really does. It gets better as it keeps going. It really is true. I mean, the way they build Rumpelstiltskin, the way they build the Queen, and Pinocchio, he's got a great. I mean, the way they use the fairy tale creatures and stuff is really, really interesting. And hey,
Good
later on,
cast.
Sam Witwer comes in.
Yeah, they have a good cast.
But,
Because we've all seen them in other shows. We just
Right.
don't realize that they're
Yeah.
there.
Yeah. Also, as directors, is there any directors that you like to follow?
Steven Summers.
Yeah.
He's probably tired of me following him.
Is there a director that that I don't want to say got you into film, but you know, like when you were very first getting into film, like the first director that you really latched onto?
Again, Steven
So
Summers.
Steven
He's
Summers.
really tired of me following him. He's like,
That
"What
boy
is a
kid.
kid?" No. I watched the original Mummy movies with Brendan Fraser, and I watched it. That was probably one of the first behind the scenes things I ever watched.
Yeah.
Was The Mummy Returns. And something that really struck me about him, and I follow this philosophy when I'm directing, he never sits down.
Yeah.
He's behind the camera. He goes, I'm transferring this energy to my actors so they can get better performances out of them. So he never sits down. And he's laughing. He's looking at this canvas chair. It's a really nice canvas chair. And you'd think, oh, directors always sit in their canvas chairs. He goes, no, this is the first time I've sat down today, because he was in the middle of shooting. And it was really, that really struck me. I like him. I like a couple other people, Christopher Nolan. I really like Sam Raimi back in the day.
Yeah.
I'm hoping he'll get something good out for us before too long.
Hopefully. Yeah, when I was younger, some of the first directors that I was following were, 2 of them are sort of obvious, like Steven Spielberg and George Lucas, you know, because I was big into Star Wars, and so when I started getting into film, I followed them. But then shortly after them, I started following Tim Burton. And,
I gotta love Tim Burton.
oh, well, he's great. I mean, especially his old stuff. I mean, I can't stand the movie now, but Big Pee-wee's Big Adventure was like one of my favorite movies when I was younger, you know. I mean, it's just so funny, and it's juvenile, but it's great. It's like, it's so kooky. But I love, I mean, Ed Wood is such a great movie. It's a great movie about a bad director. Directed by a great director.
Well, that's the only way you can go.
You know, Beetlejuice. I mean, I love Michael Keaton in that role. But also going back to actors for a second, though. But actually, when I was a kid, my favorite actor was Michael J. Fox. And before, yeah, I actually, when he came out with his Lucky Man book, I remember reading it, and that just like, I just loved hearing his stories. Like, I really connected with him and stuff, and grew up on Back to the Future, like I said, and loved Marty McFly, and I was a big Family Ties fan. Alex P. Keaton, man. But yeah, but those are pretty much the director. The now more modern day ones, I mean, Nolan is my favorite director. I mean, of all time, and just I have not seen a single movie that he's done that I haven't enjoyed. There are definitely ones that I like better than others, like, you know, Insomnia is definitely at the bottom of the list, you know, but it's still but even at that, that's a brilliant movie, you know. But you know, yeah, I think he's one, and I've really been enjoying Joe Nichols. You know, I mean, Midnight Special and Loving were great. I'm really interested to see what he'll be doing. Been trying to get into Villeneuve and his movies. I loved Arrival. That was such a great movie. I can't wait for Blade Runner 2049 to come out.
Is that this year?
Yeah, I think it comes out in October, I think.
I think so, yeah. Good to see Harrison Ford back as Decker. What is it? That's pretty much all Harrison Ford's been doing these days, is just reprising old roles.
Yeah, it was just...
Like how they're
yeah.
making another Indiana Jones movie again?
Yeah. But that's okay. He needs to reprise that role, because he has never reprised that role. Wink, 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 wink.
We're not going to
Which
talk about
is
that.
a great segue
I have a funny
into
story about that.
what are some movies that you absolutely despise?
Well, that one that we shall not mention. There are two movies
Well,
that
you-
we've sort of mentioned. We're not going to mention.
Well, you can mention.
I hate Avatar.
I love Avatar. I love Avatar.
Well,
so bad.
someone has to. There's got to be a reason they made all that
Just-
money, and they're like, oh, we're going to do 3 more sequels.
It's just blue Fern Gully.
And
You know, I will always compare it to Fern Gully. I'm sorry, because I remember sitting in the theater thinking, it's Fern Gully!
how batty.
What's another one I despise? Star Trek: The Motionless Picture.
Yeah, the first one. It's-
Well, there was no first one. I just jumped into 2. I don't know why. I guess the studio likes even numbers like I
guess
do. That's
so.
what we'll say.
Yes.
Well, those are the ones I really, really despise. There are probably a multitude of more, but
Movies that I dislike are very few and far between. I have a very eclectic taste, and I'm not as judgy as a lot of people are. As you could probably tell by all of my reviews, I love this movie. I love this movie. This movie's great. It's like okay. But a few movies that come to mind is Dragon Ball Evolution. I'm a big
Blah, blah. It's not a real movie.
no.
It's not a real
I'm a
movie.
I thought of
big
another
Dragon
one.
Ball Z fan, and
I have another one I just
DBZ?
remembered.
yeah, which I know there is a difference between Dragon Ball and Dragon Ball Z. Like before anybody says anything, it's like, I know, okay, but
Relax.
It's okay.
yeah, the Dragon Ball movie, and I feel like the new Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles movies, while I enjoy them, they could have been a lot better than they were. The second one was definitely closer to the mark. Don't even get me started on the fucking Transformers movies.
There's an idea. Get a better director.
There's
Just so
too
you know, in the
many.
studio.
The one that's coming out now, is
Yeah.
it even about, the Transformers? It's about some kid. It's like, no, in like space and aliens, and you're like, wait a minute, what am I watching?
Yeah. Yeah.
Don't even get me started on how they ruined Battleship.
I enjoy Battleship.
I want to go to the 1980s Russian movie.
Let's
But-
just play the game. The game better.
That's true.
The game is better.
But at the
Or
same
Star Wars.
time,
You sunk my battleship.
I will also say it's not a good movie, but I enjoy it.
That's okay. I thought of one.
There are scenes of movies that I think are really cool. And Rihanna actually did a pretty decent job acting in that movie. She wasn't Oscar worthy, but she actually did a really good job.
Most actors who are getting promoted to big roles now aren't Oscar worthy.
Oh, like how they keep bringing like Kristen Stewart back into movies, and like
She's actually gotten a lot better than since Twilight.
I
though.
don't know. I feel like every time I see her in movies, it's still the same expression of her going, "I love you so much. I'm so sad."
There's only, it's this huge, with certain actors, it's this huge dichotomy. They either used to be really good or they've gotten better since they've gotten older.
Mm.
There's never that happy middle ground. It's almost never that happy middle ground. They've always been good. There's always that, or they used to be good, or becoming better. Like, I've had that experience with both sides of it.
Well, even going towards that too, it's like, me and you actually talked about this, I think, on the phone the other day while we were talking to each other, but there's a lot of people nowadays that say Johnny Depp has not been as good as he used to be, but it's one of those things where it's like, people need to understand that he is, I don't want to say different than a lot of actors, because I'm sure he's not the only one that feels this way, but he doesn't watch his own movie, so for him, his enjoyment of the movies is getting dressed up, playing the character, and doing all this, so he has a fun time playing these outrageous, really sensational characters, and so that's why he's done Tonto and the Lone Ranger, and the Mad Hatter, and Jack Sparrow, and all these different characters like that, is because that's what he enjoys doing. He enjoys really transforming into these characters, and I think he's great at it. I do say that I would like to see him return to form. I think Black Mass was a good start to that. He was super good as Bulger. I can't think of the guy's name, but
Me neither.
but he did such a good job in that role. I would like to see him go back to doing Donnie Brasco type stuff, or Benny and June type stuff. But I think now that he's in his older age, I think he wants to make stuff that he just has fun doing, and I think he wants to make stuff for kids and families and stuff. I think he's at that age where that's what he enjoys.
Mm-hmm.
That's true. But do you think also since he's being typecasted as?
I think so too.
Because that's what I get the feeling of. Because that's
His
almost
agent
everything
just
I
keeps
see
sending him
now.
that kind of stuff. It's probably a big part of it, because the agents actually play a lot bigger role in Hollywood than you'd realize, because they're the ones who send off the scripts and all
Well,
that
and not
jazz.
only that, but also most of those roles that I mentioned too are Disney roles.
Mm.
Like the Mad Hatter, Tonto, Jack Sparrow.
Oh, yeah.
Disney rules all.
Even the Wolf and Into the Woods. So and I think the one time that he tried to do something not Disney was Mordecai, and that movie was bad on another level. It's like he tried to do the whole Peter Sellers Pink Panther type thing, I think, and it just didn't work. It just didn't.
Only Steve Martin
like-
can do that.
I remember seeing
If that.
Well, yeah.
What was the one movie that you were gonna mention though?
X-Men Origins Wolverine.
Yes. Okay, I thought you were gonna say The Last Airbender.
I haven't seen that,
It was so bad. I was so mad. A friend and I went to go see it. We literally sat there, and at the end we turned to each other like, that wasn't Avatar. What's Avatar? Because you obviously never watched it when you wrote that script, M. Night Shyamalan. Shyamalan with Tim Darby.
I'll leave now. I have it on Blu-ray.
No! Brian! You're killing me. You're
Yes.
killing me.
I saw it 3 times in the theater. But I worked for the theater, so I didn't pay.
Well,
You're killing
thank
me.
God for small favors.
But no, it's like I actually got to screen it before it came out, and then I saw it 2 other times, because I will give you, the acting is horrible in it. The special effects is questionable, but that last scene of the movie when he raises the wave up, I love that scene. I love it, and the music and everything about it. And I never watched the cartoon, so
See, I watched the
that's
cartoon, so I had something to compare it to. Because when you say, we're making this movie based on this TV show,
Yeah.
then all the fans are gonna raise their
Well-
pitchforks, be like, "Yay, you're making a movie! No, you're making a movie!" And then they raise it higher.
well, and The Last Airbender and Origins both had similar problems because on Last Airbender they kept taking money away from Shyamalan, so he kept having to change things and use cheaper things, and it shows. It shows that they did not let him have full control over it, and that's a shame. And the same goes with Origins. Gavin Hood is a great director. I love Ender's Game. Ender's Game brings me to tears every time I watch that movie. So good. Harrison Ford and Ben Kingsley and Asa Butterfield, they're just so good in that movie. And then
Gavin Hood's actually a good actor.
yeah.
But yeah, a major part of it was the studios.
It's always the studios.
Which I feel like now, after Days of Future Past and Logan, I feel like Fox hopefully has gotten the picture of letting their directors do their thing when they do big budget like superhero movies or things like that. Because it shows, the people respond to it. You give them what they want, tell a good story. Because that's all we want as the audience, is we just want a good story, It will be the first one to throw it back in your face if it's not, because it's like, we just went and spent all this money for crap, it's like, I think, do you have a moment where you went to a theater to see a movie and you walked out just devastated, just disappointed, just heartbroken? I've got one.
Oh, you go ahead. I'll think of one.
For me, it was Spider-Man 3.
That's on my list too.
When we went and saw that movie on 4th of July, the year it came out, and it was...
I went opening night.
Yeah. We went to see the movie, and I remember walking out of that theater, and it was the first time that a movie literally made me feel numb. I just felt nothing. I was just like, I don't know what that was. I don't know. Like, I don't know whether I liked it or not. I'm just so... Because it's like, spoilers. This movie's been out for forever, so if you haven't seen it...
12 years.
But, yeah. But,
Really that long?
Close.
yeah.
Oh my gosh.
But it's like the way they handled, as much as I love Sandman, as much as I love Harry, and I feel like the action sequences with Venom were good, but when Topher Grace took over, oh dear God.
The problem with that, with the movie overall, they had a bunch of really good stories and they threw them all into one movie. That's not what you do. They needed to split them up.
No.
Like, they were already talking of Spider-Man 4. And what they should have done is they had already led up to some stuff in Spider-Man 2. At the end of the movie, Harry finds the performance enhancers to become the Green Goblin. Well, they call him the New Goblin, which is just stupid.
Yeah.
And not canon.
Yeah.
Now, he could have become the Green Goblin, and they could have had a whole movie about that, and it would have worked. They could... I'm trying to think of a better word than rehash the first movie. But do a little bit of rehashing of the first movie, but just do it on a different level, whereas it's a father figure to son figure, it'd be two best friends, and I love the fight scene between the two of them.
Oh, that was great. I loved it.
And they could have had the symbiote stuff in there, but leave Venom for movie 4. Come on, people.
Yeah.
But you didn't want to see emo Peter Parker?
No, you would still get emo Peter Parker.
That's
still
the one,
get 'em.
That's the one blemish you'd still get.
Yeah, that's the one thing, but it wouldn't have been. It would have been a lot easier to swallow for the film for all of the issues.
Yeah.
Well, and I also didn't like when I was back then. I've come to appreciate it now, but back then I hated the fact that they killed off Harry. I didn't know the fact that they killed him.
See, that was the one thing I didn't have a problem with.
Yeah.
The way they did it was stupid. But...
Yeah. Yeah. But it's funny because a movie that is panned now that a lot of people hate, when I actually went opening night, it was actually, and this is for locals around here, and only you will probably know about this theater, but when Lakeside first opened up, it was
Right.
one of the first midnight shows I think that they did after it opened, and that's where I went and saw it, and I loved The Last Stand.
Oh, okay.
I loved that. I mean, I love Ben Foster as Angel. I love.
Wish they used him actually for real.
Yeah.
The kid had more screen time than he did. What is up with
It's
that?
true. Honestly, I think they should have just kept him as a kid. I think it would have been really interesting just to have that instead of being in the past, have it be present and having like this, kid maybe be on the run or something, like.
Well, that's because when you have a bad writer and a really terrible director like Ratner.
We'll put him on the list of directors we don't like. But yeah,
Gavin Hood, you're off. Ratner, you're on. You're staying on until.
Yeah, so a movie I really did not like was Miss Peregrine. And I know a lot of people liked it, and I know there were some mixed reviews on it, but I felt so unsatisfied when it was over. Like,
Well, did you read the book?
I did not. I didn't realize it was a book till after I saw the movie, but I still have not read the book yet because I just didn't feel interested enough to read the book. I felt like there were too many loopholes, like when I was watching it, and some of the acting was kind of iffy.
Some of it.
It felt very awkward for Samuel L. Jackson to be in there. I was like, he felt so out of place. It's like, oh, we need someone really famous to be in this movie. There's Samuel L. Jackson. He's not doing anything right now.
He'll be good as a bad guy.
Exactly.
We'll make him creepy.
Exactly. And it just
When he needs to swear every other
Well,
word.
I think the big reason Jackson did the movie was because he always wanted to work with Tim Burton. And so this was his chance to get to work with.
That would make sense, but it should have been a different Tim Burton movie.
It's true. Well, my sister actually did read the book. She just from the trailer, she's like, "This is completely different than the book, so I'm not gonna go see this movie." And I'm like, "Well, fine."
Fine. Be that way.
I just know the little monster things that were in there. I just kept thinking.
Cute.
It made me think of the Slender Man. I literally saw him, I was like, oh my gosh, the Slender Man has a mouth.
Something that I really appreciated was the Invisible Boy.
Yeah.
The jokes with him, I thought were really clever and funny.
I thought that was
and
good.
some of the stuff that they did. And also, I'm a big Ace of Butterfield fan. I've followed him since The Boy in the Striped Pajamas. I saw that in theater when it was out, and he was 8 years old when he did that movie, and it's crazy to see him progress in film. It's like, he did Hugo not that much after that, which was phenomenal.
Well, it's because he had a good director in Scorsese.
That's your answer for everything.
Hey, having a good director helps.
Sure.
That's true.
Prequels.
I agree.
Prequels. All I'm saying. Love Lucas. Doesn't know how to direct actors.
Amen to that. So sit down. For those of you who might argue with us, sit down and watch a behind-the-scenes video of him directing Hayden Christensen.
And
that's why he looks so confused all the time.
I'll be the first one to say it. I'm a prequelist. I enjoy the prequels. But there's only so much I could forgive.
I like the second one.
That's the worst one.
Oh. Never mind.
I think Attack of the
might be banning the next human.
No.
We're gonna probably ban the newbie.
No.
That's okay. It's okay.
I have to rewatch all the movies. A lot
That's
of these
okay.
movies
We'll
you're
fix
talking about,
that.
I have
Without
not
riff
seen
tracks.
in a really long
riff
time.
tracks.
Oh.
Yeah, it's about. I know they make them better for you, but if you want to watch Mystery Science Theater, we will bring up original Mystery Science Theater and watch old movies. Like, Attack of the Giant Tarantula.
The new season just started on Netflix too. They brought it back, and it's great. Patton Oswalt has a small character. It's great.
I just like the little robots going.
But yeah, no. If you notice the switch, it's my storage filled up. So this is actually a new clip. So I'm a little out of it because I forgot what we were talking about, other than talking about Miss Peregrine. So we figured out that much, guys. We did good, okay? We did good. Don't judge us. Don't you dare.
Can
It's the raw.
It's very raw. Well, we're still figuring this out because we're
Right.
still new to this. All right. So you said we're going to talk about a project. Why don't we jump on that?
Yeah, let's talk about that. So I'll let you take over.
Give your spiel.
Sure.
Oh dear, you're actually going to make me work.
I am gonna make you work.
Okay.
You gotta earn your promotion, your promo. You gotta earn it, son.
Remember, you gotta brag about it. Tell them how awesome it's gonna be.
Yeah.
true.
For those of you who don't know, who don't follow me, for those of you who follow me, stop it because it's creeping me out. I'm kidding. Keep following, just on Twitter and Facebook.
No, no.
I don't want you following me to my house.
Oh dear.
The dogs will eat you.
It's a long drive.
That's true. Anyway, I'm working on a feature. I'm writing and producing and starring in a feature called Wet Work. It is about a government assassin who is given an assignment that he's a little iffy about. He asks his superiors, why are you assigning this person to me? They don't seem to have done anything wrong because he usually kills bad guys. So this is the first time he's really questioning his superiors, and they're like, uh-oh, he's going to be a problem, and so they decide to go after him. So he has to protect this person who was originally his target. So instead of being, the hunter, he's now protecting this individual. So it's kind of a cool cat and mouse. We cross a couple of genres: drama, action, a little bit of a modern westernist take for a couple of scenes. Well, but we'll be crossing that. And, she wrote it with me, so.
It's me.
Yeah, it's I've actually sort of been reading the scripts, looking over it and stuff. So as they've been writing, and I can tell you that it's definitely going to be a good film when it comes out. They've been kind of keeping me privy to a lot of behind the scenes stuff, and I'm excited for it. I think everyone will really enjoy it when it comes out. Hopefully before long they'll have a GoFundMe up and different things like that for raising money to make the movie and whatnot. So when it is, I'll put it down in the description of this video so you guys can go check it out and support if you can. If you can, it's cool. But
share it then.
But yeah, share it. At least
Tell
spread
all
it
your
around.
friends.
Yes. Tell your friends. Spread it like a virus.
We don't have any viruses in this movie. Don't worry.
No, but it's a really good. And for any of you guys that have or haven't checked out Steven's other work, it's a lot different. It's different enough from the other stuff that he's done. It's like it's I think it's what am I trying to say here? It's an out of the box sort of thing for him, and I'm really interested to see it come together because I think he's really gotten into the head of this character, not just from a writing perspective, but also as an actor too, because he's hoping to play the character in the movie. More than likely, he will be playing the title role, hopefully.
Yeah.
So yeah, it's going to be exciting. We don't really have anything to show or anything like that yet, but
we're working on it.
Soon, hopefully.
Our fingers crossed.
Please. But yeah, guys, it's called Wet Work, and go support the movie when it comes out. We're, I think, gonna go ahead and call it here. And it's been fun. Any last words or anything you want to say? Any place you want people to follow you at? Twitter, anything? Instagram? Yeah.
Follow me at Nance Art on Instagram if you like. See some art in my daily life.
Okay.
You can follow me on. You can follow the Altogether Productions page on Facebook, as I keep saying, and I don't really get many new followers. We have. You can find links to my other work on the Altogether Productions YouTube page. We're adding stuff up there every other month or so. I'm trying to get the Altogether Productions Twitter up and running. We're not tweeting that much about our production as of yet because we have nothing to report. But I go and bug people occasionally, and we're going to actually add more stuff to it. So yeah, that'll cover it for right now.
Yeah, guys. Well, thanks for watching. For those of you on SoundCloud or anywhere else, thanks for listening, and I will see you again in the next episode. Peace out.
Bye.
Bye.